Good afternoon, one and all. How are you today? This is High Noon Live Draw for March 18th, 2019. And we are drawing Cross Comics original character today, Electide. And that's my character. This is Cross Comics. So, and at some point, John will probably come in here and try and claim it as his. But that's all right. So I'm going to switch over to my camera. And I hope everybody goes and watches my video on my new background. I get up a little bit closer so everybody can see all the characters here. Or hopefully you can see all the characters. I have not watched it myself. I just filmed it. So that's it. Yes, this is my new backdrop. So anytime you see my beautiful face on camera, you'll see all this wonderful stuff. And hello, are you a cop? No. Why would you think I'm a cop? Bullet. So I'm gonna switch over to my drawing camera. Oh, hit the wrong button. And hello, Raven. Because you have to tell me if you... Well, I'm not. I am not a constable on patrol. Could be a citizen on patrol. Oh, let's see. So how is Raven today, and how are you, Bullet?
Call from Wentworth Lodge.
I am good. Sorry about that. My my cell rang. It was for my mom, so. Oh, you're here now? Well, hello, Santa Raven. How are you today? This is good that you're good. Uh, don't forget your bases. What? Home base, first base, second base, third base. And the hit the ball. Okay. Sorry about that. I thought I had unmuted myself, but I did not. I don't know how you knew I was talking when I wasn't, or when I was. So I'm, as I was saying, I've only seen Captain Marvel once. And how is JP? And I am good, JP. I was just saying, Kay, if everybody could also share this out, it would be much appreciated on whatever social medias that you can. So, are you hearing the audio now, Bullet? Just leave it out there. Or you can even take it with you if you want.
I'm going to go pick up a couple cans of cat food and smokes.
Oh, what, you're going down?
Probably. She hasn't went out yet.
Uh,
Things won't be settled till around Wednesday.
uh-huh. Hello, Vald. Vlad. There, Vlad Teps. How are you, Vlad? Living the dream? Well, this is good. I'm doing good. I didn't have the best auction stream last night, but it was St. Patty's Day, so that's got to hinder it somewhat, I would think. Probably everybody out getting drunk, eh? Got my various things going on. I did a video just before this. I guess you did. Bullet didn't see you in the audience unless, of course, you were lurking. And lurking is not a bad thing necessarily. Um, but I did a video just before this showing off my new background up close. Eventually, I've got some stuff that I haven't put up yet. I'm trying to work on. Finally got figured out how to have two channels under the same email. I'm gonna be, but unfortunately, they do not let you put up. They only let two channels per phone number. And I secured a different one, my powerhouse one under phone number. So I gotta get another phone number so I can have longer videos, and I'm thinking of putting them up on there. Trying to customize or whatever this channel. It's tied to my other channel that I have had called the Pied Piper of Hamilton. I was able to create one secondary and third channel off this one. One's called Powerhouse, one's called Pied Piper of Hamilton. The links are in the description. There's some stuff up on the Powerhouse. There's nothing up on that Pied Piper. My old Pied Piper there is. Do more strange Canadian products. Well, I can do that. But then again, how do I know what is a strange Canadian product? To me, it just might be normal. uh, and morning space, or well, morning for you, yeah. Afternoon for me. But hopefully, with my Pied Piper one, that might try and get my mom a cell phone in the near future and tie it to that. And that's allowing me to redo my thing. That way, both channels can be monetized. Bullet says Canada is a test bed for a lot of products before they market them in the US. Yes, I have done the milk bag one thing. I think that I'm not sure whether that's in my Canadian snacks or not. Here, let me look that up. Give me a second or two here. We should. Uh, yeah, it's a smaller or easier to gauge the response. Uh, I, okay. So there is the one on Canadian milk. If you guys want to check it out later. Okay, let's see. Test products marker. The milk in a bag is always a good one. We should do more tests in Canada, period. True. It's a smaller market and easier to gauge response. Watch out for the Ebola test. So, yes, Canada's got that little red we, and a bunch of American friends wanted to ship me one of them. Little red we, like as in the Wii for um Nintendo. So what? We have a little red Wii here, and they don't there. Okay, that's weird. You know, they do have red, white, and blue. The little piggy toe. and they, it was a small top loader. Yeah. Okay, I've never even heard of it. It was right at the end of the Wii's life. Oh, okay. Well, if they provided the money up front, or most of it, it would have been worth it, or charge them a couple bucks extra. Yeah, give me 20 bucks above and beyond what it costs, and you've got yourself a deal. No, that's mean. I guess the collectors would know a thing or two about stuff like that as well. So, not really into collecting, game system except to play them. And one is usually enough of any given game system, unless, the one that I have breaks and I need to get a new one. What systems do you have? Right now I have a PS3 and I have an Xbox 360 that's sort of working. I need to get a power source and stuff for it. I've had what's this? Well, I had Atari, ColecoVision, an Atom, Nintendo, Sega Genesis. I've got PC as well as what else have I had? An Xbox, Xbox 360, PlayStation, PlayStation 2. Oh, I do have a Wii, but it's not set up. It needs a. I think it needs a new sensor. Oh, and I've had a Super Nintendo. Atari. Yes, one of the first home game systems. Back, not very well, Trusty. Not very well. We sold one piece or John sold one piece for $7, and that's all that got sold last night. But I think it might have been because it was St. Patty's Day. Had less advertising than I usually do. And it was a piece that he was putting at first. He put 100 reserve on it, and then he decided to take it off and say, at least the price of shipping, whatever that might be. But we've switched not drawn. We've switched the D&D to Monday nights now. Although it's not going to happen tonight, it'll happen next Monday. So that'll mean Friday nights. Hopefully, I can be in Mike's chat a little bit more, promoting Sundays. And I think somebody might have went on Saturday too, did some sort of auction. And like I said, it could be wrong. I think because it was St. Patty's Day, a lot of people were out getting drunk. Or possibly, I don't know. It's hard to say why things didn't go over well. We didn't have a. How much do I need for my trip? Altogether, it's 2,200. I think I've got around 600, somewhere between 550 and 600 collected so far. I hear Rick was drinking green tequila and took his clothes off. Yeah, when I went to bed. No green tequila, though. I don't need to be tequila. That stuff will kill you. If he filmed it. Yes, and then I would have been kicked off YouTube. Dude, on Twitch. I've thought about starting up a Twitch account, but I heard that's supposed to be a bunch of more SJW friendly stuff or whatever. I thought I heard they were worse than YouTube for their. As long as you present this, you can do anything on Twitch. Somehow I would believe that. Because although we're not supposed to be, women can get away with anything, yet we're not supposed to, they're trying to get away with the male female thing, so that makes a little bit no sense. They want to have it two or three different ways at the same time about this whole political correctness. Yeah. How all this SJW stuff, most of it flies in direct competition with itself. I forget what that term means exactly. The thought, however you want to say it. Oh, okay. So I presume Bullet is Canadian because I've heard him say where his time zone is. Are you Canadian, Velp, Vlad? Vlad? Because if I remember right, Bullet is an hour ahead of me in time zones. It's about 1:36 where he is. I hope I'm not doxing him. I'm Somalia. Oh, wow. Cool. That is way off the beaten track. Well, for me, anyways. Way over here in Canada. I'm a pirate. Damn, you doxed my time zone, Rick. How could you? Well, I think you did that already, so. Time zone and country. Because I do not believe the States has anything in that time zone. Although something I think maybe in South America might. So I guess you could be from South America. Maybe it's all an elaborate time zone hoax. Could be. I blame JP. I'm Risey trying to find the cloning labs. So how was everybody's St. Patty's Day? Was it green enough for you? Same as any other day. I didn't celebrate it. I'm against cultural appropriation. Well, I'm for appropriating any culture. They can keep there, and I can adapt it into mine. Zach just looked at my background video. And he says, "Expensive collection you got there. Loving the Chuck Norris at 355." Just like any other culture can adapt stuff in of my culture into theirs, as far as I'm concerned. It's been being done for hundreds, thousands of years. Because if it wasn't done, we wouldn't think pasta was from Italy. Seeing as how the Chinese invented it, and then they invented gunpowder and stuff like that. So is owning a gun Chinese culture appropriation? Nope, not gunpowder. What about no, not gunpowder? They didn't invent gunpowder, or was it the Japanese? One of the Oriental cultures. I thought it was. Oh, they just mass produced it. Okay, then they culturally appropriated gunpowder. What about the printing press? There was only one culture to have that at one time, and has that been culture appropriated from another culture? Cultures share stuff. Euros had it. Europe had it. Still debatable. I want everybody who didn't invent the plane or automobile to stop appropriating the culture. Monk. I know. I'm sort of am right now too. Uh-oh. I'm being sarcastic the fact about how ridiculous it is. When you really stop and think. I did listen. Yes, true. Everything is pretty ridiculous. Stay out of my things. Hey, but Bullet, you said anyone who didn't invent the plane or the automobile. Well, you didn't invent it. Just somebody in your culture did. Nobody wants to be a Canadian, anyways. I want to be Canadian. I love being Canadian. I can't get that. No, I'm not proud of our prime minister. I can't wait to get rid of him. I think it's later this year. When Trump got elected, a lot of people really wanted to be Canadian. Yeah. Yeah, too bad for the States. Good for us that they didn't actually follow through on that threat. Unfortunately, most of us wouldn't have wanted them, but our prime minister would have let them come. Heck, all they would have had to do is cross the border illegally here, and it'd be like, ooh, we'll set you up in a hotel. And you can, you know, run the rat, you know, do everything but, behave yourself in these hotels and get away with it. Treat the staff like hard not to cross. Okay, what did they say? That you meant that too. Oh, okay. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind people coming here just as long as they do it legally. Especially Montana. Hannah, Montana? Plenty of old logging roads. Yeah. You still here, Trusty? Yeah, there's lots of old logging roads for sure. I don't think, I could be wrong, I don't think most of them are on the border though. or around the border. Northwest state. I mean, Northwest state. New Hampshire. I should know what NW. Well, maybe I should. Maybe I shouldn't. Washington has some good areas as well, but a lot more open areas. Yeah, our prairies are like that here. Saskatchewan, Alberta, yeah, Alberta. Uh, Even BC, Saskatchewan, Alberta, Manitoba. There's probably a bit along in Ontario, but I don't think as much. BC and Saskatchewan. Oh, okay. So I guess Somalia is. Da, 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 da. Okay, I'm confused. Think you're trying to mess with my. Did work near Regina. Well, that is where this lovely character of Electide is going to resonate. She is resonating in Regina, Saskatchewan. Don't ask Shantner if he's from there on Twitter. He'll block you. Yeah, because Shantner's from Montreal. Or do you just mean Canada in general? And I take it you mean William Shatner from Star Trek, James T. Kirk. Yeah, he gets triggered if you say his old high school is in Scotch. Okay. What did was he born in Montreal but grew up somewhere else in Canada, or bit of both, or something like that? I don't know how to put it. Space says, "Can I just say that patriotism is a disease? Don't fall for the false geographical luck of birth. Being you're right, we all we all and God's green earth. Yeah. Well, there's a certain amount. You can take patriotism way too far. Yeah, there's. I wouldn't say there's nothing wrong with being patriotic to your country and loving your country. It could be luck of birth, for lack of a better way of saying it, as you said. Uh, but or a blessing to where one is born. Uh, yeah, if we all people were God, we wouldn't need countries. But reality is reality. Yeah, we can admit when our countries do wrong. You know, stuff like that. But it's. I find it a myself. I find it a very much a blessing to have been born here in Canada. I love my country. I do almost anything for it. Not sure whether I'd go to war. I'm just not sure whether I could kill somebody. Although I have great respect for soldiers and the such. I don't mean no disrespect to them. My family was has spilled blood for freedom of this country since the beginning. Cool. Both my grandfathers were in the Second World War. I'm not sure what they did exactly. My mom will probably come in here and tell me what my one did. I think he was some sort of mechanic or something. He worked at Stelco or DeFasco for a while here in Hamilton, or quite a while when he was after the war. Told you she'd come in.
I heard that. Stoko. And it was an airline mechanic.
Okay, so you heard. You probably don't know what my dad's dad did you? Ah, cool.
No. I have to ask your dad.
For yeah, well, I think my family would have been moved here at some point too. My great grandparents. Yeah, all around. I've lived around the world. American Constitution is the best we can do so far as I've seen. Well, Canada would be all right if we couldn't get stupid people and rewriting our quote unquote stuff every 20 years or something like that and trying to interpret it in a certain way because ours does say freedom of expression, our Bill of Rights. I think it's the Bill of Rights at the moment. You know, they like to change this stuff up. We do, but we don't. The Queen is basically a figurehead at this point. We basically make all our own decisions. She can come in and trump a decision, for lack of a better word, but it's not something that they do anymore. I wasn't trying to say Trump ruling here, Mom. I was just saying using the word Trump, as in look deeper. Fake. What's fake? Uh, Bullet. And what are you talking about? Look deeper. You understand the parliament system in England. I don't understand it in England because I haven't studied it here, but I'm talking about here in Canada. We make decisions. She could, or her representative, what's he called, could step in on her behalf, but they don't. The governor general, yeah. I'm not triggered. Oh, not you, Rick? Okay. Said that before I realized you weren't talking to me. Flat Earth history. Okay, that could trigger me. I don't really want to be using color, but just because at this point, a lot of put some. Oh, government's barely. Well, I can't say barely, but I don't always trust my government. Which is this week? New ice age, or are we going to be flooded? 50. Area 51 is an ice cream stand. You still follow the food pyramid? Okay, and okay, I'm not even sure what we're talking about now. Follow the food study. Yeah, follow comic book people. They let you if you pay them. Now there is Electide. I'm gonna scan her in like this and then color her probably. Okay, I am not done, but I'm going to. I'm gonna do some shading on this guy. This is my villain Wolfang. I did him a few weeks ago, I believe, on here. Let's see. Let's bring up the chat again. It gets viewed for. Uh, and there's always a Chromium edition if you missed the first time. fur, shorts, skin, eyes, white, and other uh, tints. Okay. So let's go for the fur. Uh, uh, I can still see the chat. Trying to, you know, brush palette. There we go. Brush library. Well, let's see how many people are watching. Five watching. Cool. With 6 likes. Okay. There we go. Hello, Lorenzo. Oh, no problem. It's always good to have you here. Can't I tell you can't be late as long as I'm still on, so That was just somebody I think saying cool to my video about my background, which people should check out after this is done. I'm done here. It's like about 5 minutes long, so. And it's always good to have you here, too. Mom's watching it right now. Oh, for claws. I can always add another layer. Feel free to say anything, hit the like, share this out, let people know we're here. Yes. So, what does everybody think of how this is coming along? For this, I am using Autodesk Sketchbook. In case anybody is wondering. Hello, Elric. What DC character would people like me to do tomorrow? I will be inserting one of my characters. I won't tell anybody what character at the moment. I will figure that out between now and tomorrow. De- Deadpool is not DC. Elric, Deadpool is Marvel. You didn't hear you say DC. And the Canadian Shield is one of my characters. Although I'm letting you guys choose the non cross comics character. Dawnbreaker? Uh, Is that DC? I've never heard. Skunk. Oh, we got a Catwoman. I haven't done Catwoman yet. So I think I'll go Catwoman. So Catwoman, and it'll be surprised what the Cross Comics character will be. Oh yeah, the Batman Green Lantern. Evil Batman Green Lantern. Canadian Captain Maple Leaf. Let's see. And with the Whistler. Wait, wait. Are you drawing digitally this stream? I started out traditional. Elric. You know, I did my character Electide traditionally, and I decided to, since if I'm done early enough, I'll start digitally shading some of my characters. And I am using uh, Autodesk Sketchbook. Something different for me to use. I was for the longest time using uh, Adobe Illustrator, but I thought I tried this out a while back because I seen somebody else using it, so I thought I'd take a stab at it, and it's looking good. So, what would be fun is really obscure pulp characters of old wrestlers. Well, that's stuff that can happen on Friday. Yeah. So I thought about Friday, Monday through Friday. I'm going to, or not Monday through Friday, Tuesday through Friday, whatever day it is. I'm going to throw in one of my characters. So it's going to be a DC character with a Cross Comics character, a manga character with one of mine, or anime, and I'll try and do mine in a manga style. I like the character you're drawing because I'm not familiar with it. This is my character Wolf Fang. He is a circus performer, or or sideshow exhibit. Let's see. F9. Okay, his name is Jim Denblecker, circus performer slash thief. He is 7 foot, approximately 250 pounds. He has strawberry blonde hair, eyes green, single, group affiliation done, city of residence mobile, and he first appears in Snowdrift number 6. And as you can see, here's his history. Jim was born to parents in a traveling circus at about 5 years of age. It was apparent to his parents that Jim's looks were that of a dog wolf. At this they decided to put him as part of the freak show part of the circus as the Wolf Boy to earn extra money. Jim grew up having a normal, happy life as one could growing up in the circus, being the Wolf Boy. Over the next 13 years, Jim learns all kinds of skills from his fellow circus performers. One day, when he was 18 years old, he overheard a private conversation between the circus owner and the circus accountant. This discussion was about how much financial trouble the circus was in. Later, after much thought, he devised a plan on how to help the circus. These plans were to begin to rob jewelry stores by the stealth of night using all his various abilities and turn the jewels into cash. I don't know whether they still do or not. Lorenzo. But that's what I put out when I did this. There might be certain circuses do or carnivals or whatever. Anyways, his skills about
Call from +1 289 608 8358.
I don't know whether I don't know whether that was her or not. Wait. Hold on a couple seconds, people. If you hold the hold on a couple seconds, people. You hold down one when it comes up for a message. It'll bring into the thing, and then the password's 0110. Okay, can you guys hear me now again? Thankfully, foiled. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I knocked my computer table and it decided to go wacko on me. Let's put the chat again. Anyways, I was reading the skills and powers, which you did not hear me read. So, skills and powers. Jim has above average strength and agility. Jim has hand to hand combat skill. Jim's hand to hand combat skills are that of an average person. However, Jim has razor sharp fangs and claws, or fingernails. I'm not sure whether you call them claws. And a swipe or a nip from either can be deadly, making him a foe to be reckoned with. Above all else, he has a meta-human healing factor, increases his healing by about 20 times that of the normal person. And that's no. Okay, so back we are. Uh, how did he end up with this condition? He was born with it. He's I hate to use the word mutant, but he's uh, there are people born. He was born with the genetic thing, where people grow hair all over the body. He's not really part wolf, no. I just use the term wolf boy from old stuff like the sideshows, the freak shows that they'd have kids like people like that in. Yeah. Yeah, well, what I more mean is by mutant because most, if you do any research in the real world, in reality, anybody that there has been no, um, there is no provable beneficial genetic mutations. So, I'm trying to be real in that sense. Because of my one character, the Flame, he brings spiritual stuff into the real world. So this guy would have the spiritual gift of healing, for himself or whatever, and he's bringing it in because of the flame. It's weakened the the wall between. So this guy can end up doing it naturally, have a healing factor for himself. No, mutant can't be copyrighted. Mutant is a term of genetic stuff, mutation, and all that. There's a condition called hyper. I can't pronounce that. No, I just avoided the word more because of, as I said, the whole. For me, there's like I said, genetic mutation is. There's never been a real. You can't prove a beneficial mutation. There's never been any. So, although some people might disagree, but there's no scientific proof of genetic mutation that's positive. In fact, if you try and find stuff about mutations, all they'll usually show you is the negative. They won't show you any positive because they can't, because there isn't. Yeah, that's I guess the thing that he has there, Lorenzo. I figured that's what the word was meant to be. That you showed. Uh, an abnormal amount of hair growth over the body. Yeah, that is the condition he suffers from. Not many, but humans do have different tolerances to things like cold or pain. Uh, but that's only a slight difference in genes, not full blown mutation. Yeah, and some of it is also tolerance, and usually that's due to, if I would be correct, that would be due to nerve endings being severed. And, having a nerve ending severed, I don't think would be a good thing. Or those nerve endings not coming in properly. Still doesn't explain the eyes and the fangs. Well, fangs, that's just teeth growing abnormally and fingernails growing abnormally. As for eyes, he's just got green eyes. You might be able to see slightly better in the dark. I'm not sure whether I didn't put that in, but that might be fleshed out later on. Now, there's a famous Mexican circus performer called the Wolf Boy with this condition. Hence, Wolf Fang. Hello, Bear Bear. Not much. I going over my character here digitally for some shading. I think I'm pretty much done. See what people think. Yeah, you made your character distinct from him. Even if he ended up, getting himself a set of, contact lenses that allow him to see in the dark, would be neat. Who is this dumb head curly? This is my villain called Wolfang, circus performers slash thief. Say it's bright day and chasing a bad guy and runs into. Yeah, he could easily have some sort of pouch just under his shorts there with them in. Pop them in quick. I don't know exactly how it would work. Details to be fleshed out. But then again, he's probably used to working with low light as it is. Well, with the circus. Well, that's just because he's got no background with him right now, Bear Bear. So he is saved. So that is he in his underwear? Sort of. He's got his privates covered up. I just figured that would be better. And just make sure nothing's dangling. So, want to put him on display as Wolf Boy, you don't really. I think the underwear needs to be a different color because it looks too much. Well, guess we could do something different. Yeah. Uh, yeah, let's see. Oops, Control Z. Does that look better? What's his wife look like? I have yet to develop a wife for him. So every day I'm gonna probably go over as long as I have time digitally do some digital shading on a character. And see what we're going to do with that is we're going to go into here. We're going to go Control O. I gotta remember to rename these things. And we're gonna Control X. No. And then we're gonna put him in here. Control Z. I don't know. Control V. So then we're going to resize him, scale him down to, let's see what it looks like at 25%. Not too bad, not too bad. Put him over here next to Wonder Witch. Now let's. What is this program? This is Adobe Illustrator. Options. Wolf. Fang. Eventually, I'm going to have a bunch of my the characters that appear in the first year and a half here, and this is going to be my new backdrop. Hey, Bob. I'm not sure when they're going to cross over. There eventually might be a crossover. Wonder. So, we've got a whole bunch of I've got a whole bunch of characters up here, as you can see, that I've got to put through this process. You can do this in DaVinci Resolve as well as Photoshop and After Effects, and it's far cheaper. This illustration. Okay. Well, I have a free version at the moment, Kronos. Oh, you've been working on a comic lately? Cool. And if you want to know more about Wolfang, earlier in the program, after I'm done here, I did go over his bio, his history, skills, and powers, and even this here is the list of the bunch more characters that character. Let's see. So sketch. Okay, let's go open. We just did. I've done Wonder Woman, which now I'm gonna do after. I'm not gonna do them right now, but it'll probably be done tomorrow. Whizlock. The comic is called The Adventures of Major Link. Cool. Uh, Bob says I'll be right back. So we're gonna dark gray, lighter gray, or medium gray, light gray, yellow, skinned, eyes, and highlights. That should pretty much do everything. Sounds good, Bear, for sure. Yeah. So eventually that I'm gonna stop sharing. This is what I did today. My character Electide for traditional. So what I'm gonna try and do is get done whatever traditional I can. And then I'm gonna try and shade a digitally one of my characters. I might get some other ones done during the day or whatever. So just got to put that thing going fast. So Whizlock may be the one for tomorrow. He may not. You don't have to retract your messages, Bear. Uh, 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 anyways, I think I'm going to end for now. So we will see everyone tomorrow. Be sure to check out my verse of the day and also check out my new background stuff. That way you can see. Let's see. video. That way you can see all this up close. I put it up before this thing. So we will see everybody tomorrow. Bye for now. God bless. Have a great and wonderful day.